The alien queen's daughters disappeared, only to be found curled up on the human's chest. The distress call came in the middle of the night shift. At first, Commander Eli Vance thought it was just another false ping from the debris fields drifting beyond the Kuiper line. Space was full of ghosts, dead satellites still mumbling in binary, forgotten probes sending back the static of a long-ended age. But this signal was different. It pulsed slowly, rhythmically like a heartbeat. And it was human. He leaned closer to the console. Origin point? Unknown, the ship's AI answered. Triangulation incomplete. But vector suggests extrasolar source. Eli frowned. Outside the solar boundary? That's impossible. Not impossible, said the AI softly. Just forgotten. He stared at the flickering waveform. There was something almost organic about it, the way it swelled and faded, carrying a subtle undertone, like a voice trying to form through static. Then he heard it. Faint, trembling words under the distortion. Help her. She's not breathing. The research vessel Artemis had been drifting for years through the emptiness between systems, cataloging cosmic anomalies. Eli had seen things that could unmake a man's understanding of reality. Nebulae that sang, black holes that echoed with phantom light. But nothing had ever called to him. Till now. Lock course on the signal, he said. Wake the crew. By the time they reached the coordinates, even the AI sounded nervous. Planet hung there. No half a planet. The rest had been torn apart. Its crust scattered in silent rings of dust and crystal. The remaining hemisphere glowed faintly, alive with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed like veins beneath a translucent skin. Eli stared through the viewport. That's not a world, he whispered. That's something living. The science officer, Dr. Nira Solon, adjusted her scanner. The readings are inconsistent. Oxygen, nitrogen, traces of silicon. Similar to human biosphere ratios, but the magnetic field. She frowned. It's humming. The hum grew louder as they descended. The planet seemed to respond to their presence, its glowing patterns shifting like an iris adjusting to light. Are we sure this is safe? One of the technicians murmured. No, said Eli. But since when has that stopped us? They landed near what looked like an ancient structure, half temple, half hive. Walls of black crystal rose from the ground, covered in runes that shimmered faintly as they passed. Inside, the air was thick and warm, humming with low vibration. At the center of the hall stood a throne made of what looked like bone fused with metal. And upon it sat a figure, tall, motionless, wrapped in silver fabric that rippled though no wind moved it. Dr. Solon stepped forward, scanning. She's in stasis. Humanoid but not human. Eli approached. The being's skin was pale blue, almost translucent, her veins faintly glowing gold. A crown of thin metallic filaments curved from her temples like antennae. Even asleep, she radiated power. Around her, the air shimmered. Who is she? Eli asked. The AI's voice echoed through their helmets. Cross-referencing with galactic archives. Match found in restricted mythological database. Marin of Larithia. Known as the Queen of Gravity. Eli turned sharply. That's an old fairy tale. So was flight, the AI replied. The hum deepened. Lights rippled through the temple floor like a heartbeat. Then a soft chime from Solon's wrist monitor. Commander, I'm picking up another signal. Biological. Smaller. Close. She moved toward a cluster of crystalline pods near the throne. Within the translucent shell of one, something stirred. A small, curled figure breathing faintly. Solon gasped. It's a child. The pod opened with a sigh of vapor. A little girl no older than 8 lay inside. Her skin shimmered faintly silver, her hair fine as spun gold. When she opened her eyes, Eli's breath caught. They were not eyes at all but twin galaxies swirling in miniature. She looked at him and whispered in perfect English, "Are you human?" Eli knelt. "Yeah. My name's Eli. She tilted her head, studying him with unnerving calm. Then you're the one my mother sent for. Solon glanced at Eli. Your mother. The girl nodded weakly toward the throne. The queen. She hid us when the harbingers came. Eli frowned. Who are the harbingers? Before the girl could answer, the ground trembled. A low, resonant vibration filled the air, like the growl of some enormous machine. The AI cut through the static. Commander, multiple contacts incoming. Non-biological. Moving fast. Eli stood. How many? Dozens. Maybe hundreds. They ran. Outside the temple, the sky had changed. Shapes moved in the upper atmosphere, sleek black constructs that reflected no light, slicing through the air without sound. The harbingers. Back to the ship. Eli shouted. As they sprinted across the glowing plains, the girl stumbled. Eli scooped her into his arms, feeling her heart beat quick and strange against his chest. For a second, the air around them rippled like heat haze, and the pursuing drones veered off course, colliding with each other as if something bent space between them. Solon gaped. She's manipulating gravity fields, instinctively. The girl clutched Eli's uniform, trembling. They'll find us if I use it too much. Please, don't let them take me. He tightened his grip. Not gonna happen. They reached the Artemis just as the first Harbinger ships descended. The vessel's automated turrets opened fire, bursts of plasma lighting up the sky. Eli strapped the child into a safety harness and shouted to the AI, "Get us off this rock." Engines roared. The ship tore free of the atmosphere, the alien fleet swarming behind them like a tide of shadows. Space distorted, warning lights flashed red. "Commander," said the AI, "they're folding space around us, attempting to cage the vessel." Eli slammed a control panel. "Then jump us through it." Unstable trajectory. "Do it." The Artemis vanished in a burst of white light. They reappeared in the emptiness between stars. Silence. Systems offline. No pursuit. Eli leaned back, exhaling hard. Status. Engines overheated. Shields compromised. But we're alive. He turned to check on the girl. She was asleep, curled up against the seat, breathing softly. Her small hand still clutched his sleeve. Solon watched quietly. "What are we going to do with her?" Eli looked out the viewport at the endless dark. "Keep her safe. Until we know who's still out there." Over the next few days, as the Artemis drifted, Eli learned fragments of her story. Her name was Ariel. She and her twin sister had been hidden away by their mother, Queen Marin, when the Harbingers came to destroy Larithia. Each daughter carried a part of something the machines feared, a fragment of the Queen's crown, imbued with her power to bend gravity itself. But the second pod, the twin, had been missing from the temple. "She was supposed to wake up with me," Ariel said softly one night, sitting by the viewport. "We share the same heartbeat. If she's gone," her voice trembled, "I'll feel it." Eli tried to reassure her, but his words felt small in the vast silence of space. Then came the dream. He was standing on a shore made of starlight. Across the waves floated the silhouette of a woman crowned in silver, her voice echoing through his mind. "You have my child," she said. "But the other still sleeps." "Where?" Eli asked. "In your world," she whispered. "Hidden where light cannot reach." When he woke, the ship's proximity alarm was blaring. "Commander," said the AI, "we're near the soul boundary. The signal, it's coming from Earth." Earth. The planet had long since retreated from deep space ventures, content to watch the cosmos from behind orbital walls. Eli hadn't set foot there in years. Now, as the Artemis entered orbit, he felt an ache he hadn't expected. Memories of a home that no longer felt his. They tracked the signal to the surface, to an abandoned observatory deep in the Arctic wastes. Solon scanned the site as they approached. No life signs except She paused. Wait. There's something under the ice. They broke through the frozen floor and descended into a hidden chamber. And there she was, the second daughter. Unlike her sister, this one was awake. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark as she sat curled up inside a containment pod. Around her, human machinery hummed, a crude life support rig powered by fusion cells. When she saw Eli, she recoiled. You're the one they sent to take me. Eli raised his hands. No. I came to bring you back. She hesitated, scanning his face with unearthly calm. You don't lie like them. The scientists here, they wanted to study me. Solon looked around at the equipment, at the disassembled pieces of alien crystal scattered across the lab. They found her years ago, and they never told anyone. Ariel stepped forward, eyes filling with tears. Sister. The other girl, Lyra, stared at her twin, then suddenly rushed forward, embracing her. For a moment the air shimmered as if the whole room held its breath. Then the ground began to shake. Commander. The AI's voice crackled through the calm. Harbinger fleet inbound, warp signatures all around the planet. Eli cursed. They tracked the crown fragments. Lyra looked up, terrified. They're coming for us. Solon's scanner beeped wildly. They're not just coming, they're opening a rift inside Earth's gravity well. Eli grabbed both girls. Back to the ship, now. They raced across the frozen plains as the sky split open. Black shapes poured through the rift, like shards of night tearing through clouds. The Artemis's engines roared as Eli pushed them to escape velocity. But before they cleared the atmosphere, a Harbinger beam struck the hull. Systems flickered. Gravity surged, then failed. The ship tumbled into silence. When Eli woke, everything was weightless. Sparks floated like dust. Solon was unconscious, strapped in her chair. Across the cabin, Ariel and Lyra were huddled together, glowing faintly. He drifted toward them. You two okay? Ariel nodded weakly. They're trying to pull us back. Lyra looked up, eyes wide. We can stop them, but we need you. Me? Eli asked, incredulous. You carry the resonance, Ariel whispered. Mother touched your mind in the dream. You can bridge us. Eli hesitated only a moment before nodding. Tell me what to do. The sisters joined hands. Energy flared between them, threads of light weaving around Eli's body like living silk. He felt the universe twist. The ship, the stars, the very fabric of space bending inward. Through the rift outside, the Harbingers swarmed closer. But their shapes began to distort, folding in on themselves. A sound filled the cabin, half scream, half symphony. And then he saw her. Queen Marin, radiant and infinite, emerging through the rift. Not a body but a consciousness made of light. Mother, the girls cried together. Marin's voice filled the ship like music. My daughters. My heart. She reached out, not with hands but with gravity itself. The Harbingers imploded, collapsing into motes of darkness that dissolved into the void. Eli's body shook with the force. What happens now? Marin's gaze softened. You have carried them across the gulf. You gave them back to me. She looked almost sorrowful. But you cannot follow where we go. Light engulfed everything. When Eli opened his eyes, he was back on the Artemis. The sky outside was calm. No rift, no harbingers, only the steady glow of distant stars. Solon stirred beside him. What happened? He looked toward the passenger seats. Only his uniform bore a faint shimmer of gold dust, stardust that pulsed like a heartbeat before fading. He sat quietly for a long time, the hum of the ship echoing in the silence. Then as he leaned back in his chair, he felt something warm against his chest. Ariel's locket. He opened it. Inside was a single crystal still glowing softly. And for just a heartbeat he felt the weight of two small forms curled against him, light, warmth, and the echo of distant voices whispering. Thank you, human. Eli stared out at the stars. tears blurring his vision. Somewhere beyond the edge of known space, a mother had her daughters again. And somewhere deep within the human heart, the universe exhaled.